We have no excuse. Well, he has an excuse. I have no legitimate excuse to be tired, but I'm still coughing up.
There's nothing wrong with coffee in the morning. Morning, everybody. Anybody miss last night?
I know. So here's my legitimate excuse.
We'll be the judge of that.
My family had been out of town for 2 weeks, and they came in on Thursday, and I hadn't seen them, and I was like, I work all week, so I'm gonna sit and chill out. And thank God.
What they look like?
Via like Skype, where the kids are holding the phone and it's facing the ceiling. And so we went for a walk yesterday. It was kind of sunny, and we decided to take a nap. The kids, we try to always make them take a nap, but Genevieve and I decided to take a nap. So yeah. So like 4:45 or something, we're like, okay, let's close our eyes. 6 o'clock, the alarm's going off, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I woke up to get the dogs out to pee, and I basically didn't move after that. But I started a TV show I haven't started a TV show since like Breaking Bad or something, but I decided to watch the first episode of, and I finished the first 3 episodes of Stranger Things. It's good. Yeah. And I didn't want to like it, but I was like, damn, it's good. I watched it. And I can sort of bit my tongue, because I always say child actors are awful, but these guys are, Ben from Thin Lizzy. I know, I did, but it's I knew he was good. I didn't know how good he was. I remember I think Sam walks down the stairs and kind of sits down. He's great. Yes, he was the sweetest kid. Had he already shot Stranger Things? Okay. No wonder. Because nowadays he's gonna be like, Jared who? I think I just snotted a little bit. So we are starting our...
Well, that sounds nice. You got to spend time at home watching... I was here pouring my heart out for all of these people.
Yeah, but your family has...
Also known as Even Stranger Things.
Even Stranger Thing. Yeah, but your family's been here.
Well, that's on my to-do list. However, I have a wife that things like that stay with her when I'm not around, the scary stuff, and it haunts her, and so it's probably why she married me. She really wants to watch it, but she's like, I'm not going to watch it if you're not around. So we'll have to figure that out, but yeah.
On that note, Genevieve's the same way, and when she was in Austin these last couple of weeks, and when I was up here, where were we? We were in,
Phoenix.
No, we were in
Pittsburgh.
Vancouver. We were at work.
Dubai.
Did you say Chewbacca?
Yes.
We were in Chewbacca. So I get a text message, like, hey, did you turn the lights off? Because she's in the house, and she's like, did you turn the lights off and on? I was like, no. And so it's what, 1 a.m. or something in Texas? It's like 11 o'clock in Vancouver, and she's saying that she's in the house with the kids, and the lights are turning on and off all of a sudden. And I was like, do you smell sulfur?
All right, I think that would be honestly, because we were doing something, I was in your trailer running lines or something.
Grab salt.
And it's the first thing I said. I'm like, tell her to get some salt.
Get the salted hula hoop. So she calls. Luckily I have a good friend in the Austin Police Department, and so I text my buddy Tank, our buddy Tank, And simultaneously, I text my buddy Matt, and Matt's an awesome friend, and he's in a very serious relationship with his girlfriend Allie, and she's amazing. And so I'm texting Matt, like, hey man, Jen's home, this is like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, Jen's home alone, she's kind of scared. You mind going and sleeping over there? And then I'm texting Dan. But that's how you know it's a good friend. You're like, hey, will you go sleep with my wife? And he was like, that's fine. Should I bring a pillow? I was like, no, dude, you can have the couch or whatever. So he heads over. Simultaneously, our buddy from the APD heads over, and he sends me this app or this link to, it's kind of like when you get an Uber or something and it shows where the car is, but this shows the speed they're going. And since he was like, no worries, I'm out on patrol anyways, I'll head over. And he texts me this link, and I click on it, and it's the coolest thing, because I showed Jensen, I'm like, check it out. Tank is heading to my house at 95 miles an hour.
You have to understand the situation. They're in Austin, they're doing some renovations to the house, which means there are a lot of workers in and out of that house all day, every day. The alarm system is now down. The power is fluctuating. There was, I'm sure, reasons that the lights were going on and off, but they were going on and off, and she's at home with no protection. And so our buddy, our police officer buddy, is aware of this situation, and literally he texts him, he's like, hey, Jen's at home alone. The lights are going off, she's freaked out. It's 1 in the morning. His response within 5 seconds was, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah, which is awesome. So it's nice to know we have friends like that. Yeah. Meanwhile, when we were watching episode 3 last night, you guys have seen episode 3? Jen was like, yeah, I cannot watch this and have the lights turn on and off in the house when you're in a different country.
When she sent this video, and it's the video is of the light switch, and it's just, and then all of a sudden, the lights come on, the lights go off.
Light switch, and she's like,
see? All right, she's not lying. That was freaky.
Because you want to be supportive by going like, oh, it's nothing. It's the fuse and the niner and the, just go back to bed. She calls back and she's like, it happened again. And I was like, catching that is a walkie-talkie we were talking about. And so she sends the video, and it's this very, like, it could be a shot from Stranger Things. It's like the light switch is in the foreground and the lights in the background, and then it goes from black and white, where it's like the sepia-toned footage or whatever from a night shot, to like the lights come on, and then back, and told you! You're like, ah!
Some Blair Witch action right there.
The lights were scary enough. Total Blair Witch. Which Eduardo, the Blair Witch director, is coming back to do another episode this year.
That's right.
Great job.
Did I just see they're doing a Blair Witch show? How does that?
Blair Witch Projects.
Haven't we seen it?
Yeah.
AKA Ghost Facers. Okay.
Blair Facers. Who's doing?
I don't know.
Y'all know?
No.
Bueller.
Moving on.
Let's get to some questions before we just yes. Is it written down in an accent? Lovely.
So my question is, there's a lot of unexplainable things
That's a statement.
on the show. Yes, it is, yeah. Well, it's getting to the question. One of the things that I find great about the show is that, you know, things like how you guys have charged devices all the time. You know, when Sam uses his laptop for 10 hours in the car. And what I was trying to understand is, where do you guys get your Wi-Fi? Because it just seems to be that you always have charged stuff and Wi-Fi wherever you go.
Are we at liberty to tell her? Do we have to kill her?
I really would love to know the secret, to be honest.
No, let's tell her the secret.
All right. So the Winchester Brothers are sponsored by Mophie, and they just plug it in.
And AT&T Hotspot.
And AT&T Hotspot. Yeah. Who I like again. No, you know what's funny is that they do here in Canada, because I guess you can go to, I thought I was like a Luddite for not knowing this, I wasn't trying to imply that you're... But you can go to like AT&T and buy like a, help me here, please.
Here's a shovel.
I don't know why I was holding it backwards. So you can buy a little thing, and it uses data, but it gives a signal. So like if you're on a computer and you have a really wide keyboard, because you're like this, it's basically the size of a piano. I don't know why I'm gesturing like this. Here's your shovel back. Then it broadcasts a signal. That's all I got. You're driving the thing, answer.
Dean outfitted baby with Wi-Fi a few years back.
Did you see the little antenna on the roof?
There you go.
Thank you.
And we did a house call for one of the sales reps many, many years ago and saved him from a Rougarou. And then, so now Sam and Dean have infinite supply of downloadable megabytes.
It's also worth noting, we joke around a lot on set, obviously.
We don't.
And one of the running jokes we have is like getting a fan letter saying like, hey, you know, I understand that God came down to earth, possessed the body of a writer, and that Lucifer has moved around, and Satan has died and gone to hell and come back soulless and soul. But there was one scene where the light bulb seemed to change from luminescent to white. And I can no longer watch Supernatural. You know, people cutting off heads and their mouths still moving and then sewing it back on. That, duh.
However, now we're getting that question. How do they have Wi-Fi? And how are they constantly powered up? Which is funny because the power situation, when they cut, the guy who's in charge of computer, Tommy, he comes running in with a power cord and puts it in, and then when they're like, okay, lock it up, roll sound, he comes running in and unplugs it and runs out.
It's always right there, so he'll run in and like plug it in and run off. It's like the guys who wait for the tennis balls that hit the net. He's like sitting there, and they call cut, and he runs up, does it, and then runs off, and like sits on his, the road amp thinker thing.
Because God forbid one day they're like, lock it up, roll sound, and Jared goes, ding. Tommy, it's out of power. He'll just walk to the door and keep walking to the parking lot, get in his car, and drive away.
But you know what's funny is I also read a story. You ever hear about like the band writers that ask for green M&Ms? So in a strange way, and I actually kind of believe this, they would put it like number 40 or 45 on their list of requests so that if they didn't have green M&Ms, they knew somebody didn't read it. It's like the story about the teacher, like, hey, read this book, and a $100 bill is taped to like the third to the last page. And so if they say they read it, they just open it up and they're like, then why is the $100 bill still in the back? Like, why didn't you take it? So I like questions like that. Like the minutia, it means people are paying attention.
Because it's not your $100 bill.
But how did you read it?
Here you go.
How did you read under the $100 bill?
You take it and then you put it back, like a normal person would do with not your things. I mean, that's the excuse I use.
That's why I'm $100 richer than Jensen.
And finish the book.
And started it. That's at the first page. Jensen, the book is still taped shut. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it's great. Jared, what's the book about?
All right, you.
How about there? Yes.
So, congratulations on the twins. My question is for Jared. If it were completely up to you, what would you name Jensen?
Is this like one of those, like, we like to call this compliment sandwich. It's like, listen, it was great, fantastic. My issue was this, and then you end with, but again, great.
What was it I actually did miss it? With my joy.
What would you name Jensen's twins if it were totally up to you?
I've actually already picked it out. Is it known what JJ stands for? Yes. What does it stand for? Okay, so I already know. I told him, and I told him it was free of charge. But logically speaking, I think let's say it's I don't know. You can change the names if it's a boy or a girl or whatever, but we got Justice J. I think we need Kindness Kim and Liberty Larry. That way, at some point in the near future, Jensen will be walking through a restaurant like, JJKKLL, get over here! Come on! KK, don't make me. All right. Good boy, LL.
And then that little cool J stands up, he's like, what's up?
Say what? Muscles everywhere. That's exactly. I'm gonna go way over there.
Liberty Larry?
It's a nice personality trait.
No.
Likeable Larry.
Kindness Kim, is that what you said? This is why Jared's not in charge of naming the names.
Lascivious Lonnie. It could be like Karen Kim with a K.
So CK.
CK. Yes. Yes. I saw your hand first. I also was attracted to the not one sunglasses, but two sunglasses. Yes. Oh, they got stolen. We'll go to you next.
Oh my god. So this is kind of for a friend. Keeps like sending me messages. He keeps waking up at like 2:56 a.m. This has been going on for months, and hearing this like creepy sound going on. And his question was basically, what would your advice be? Because he has no idea what it is.
I actually know.
And also, why do you guys never go to Ireland? Like, what's up with that?
Love good Ireland, but your buddy, tell him to. There's a setting on the phone, and when you set your alarm for 2:56 a.m., just change it to something else. Gwen Stefani, or make it 3:56 a.m. or something.
I always said it changed to like 3:56, so I don't know what's happening.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
He's getting freaked out.
Is he in the time-space continuum?
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell him.
A sound wakes him up. Something wakes him up.
No, he's usually awake. He's like...
There's the first problem.
He's a weird guy, but it's...
We're all weird. Good on him. I'm gonna go to my friend behind you, who hid one pair of sunglasses.
I didn't put it on my head.
Oh, I liked it. It was a good look. Did you see it? She had like, it was like a superhero, like sunglasses and eyeglasses.
I need them all the time.
I love it.
So I'm here with my son, and I missed the concert last night to be with my son. And we have a special handshake so that he knows that, I love him when I'm not there. Do you do anything special with your kids, like both of you?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, one thing comes to mind. Whenever I leave, just like this morning, about an hour ago, and I was saying goodbye to JJ, she always, and I don't know where she got it from, but every time I say goodbye to her, she says, "Watch out for the rocks." I have no idea what that means or where she got it, but now I've started saying it back to her. So now we say, "Watch out for the rocks," and then we do the same, which is something that my wife and I have always done, which is we just touch fingers, which is kind of a little "I love you." And so she's now started just, when I say, "Hey, good night, I love you," she'll put her finger up and I'll just touch her. Yeah, all right. It's gonna be different when my son's born. We're gonna be like, "Ah!"
When I left this morning,
It's gonna be a little rough. It's gonna be wrecked.
When I left this morning, I was saying bye to Tom and Shep, and we gave each other a big hug, and they go, "Are you gonna throw rocks at Jensen again?" We have more of a morning ritual, where they usually do have really stinky breath, but I pretend it's super stinky, and so I'll wake up and I'll pick them up and I'll give them a big hug, and then when they go to kiss me, I'll pretend to faint, and I'll get up and they laugh and I'll pretend to faint. However, it sort of backfired. We woke up with a 4-year-old cat stowaway in our bed yesterday, and I'm kind of groggy, and apparently he's gotten up out of his room and come in and climbed into bed next to Daddy, and I keep feeling movement. and I'm feeling like a little foot, and I'm like, what is Jen like jabbing? And I wake up, and sure enough, it's Tom, and his face is right there. And I'm like, hey, buddy. And every now and then he's going like this. And I was like, Tom, what's wrong? And he goes, I don't like your air. It's gross.
That's awesome.
Like, that's because Daddy and Mommy stayed up last night when we were asleep. Had a glass of wine.
That's right.
Yeah, so backfire.
Your hair.
I don't like your air. It's gross. I don't like your air.
Come on, right here.
Oh, they do.
Yes.
I was going to ask a sort of weird question, maybe.
Love it already.
My son, who is now 20, started re-watching the show about a month ago, and then I figured out when I was seeing the episode for about the 4th time that in the pilot, how did Dean know how to come back to Sam's apartment? It was burning.
It's in the deleted scene. The deleted scene. It's the deleted scene.
Brother's intuition.
Did he ever leave? That's the real question. Did he ever leave?
But you can see in the show that they're saying goodbye to each other, and Dean is driving away. It's not very, you can see it very far, but some, at least
I literally always, I mean, in all honesty, I did chalk that up to kind of a sibling, kind of that, connection that siblings have, that kind of intuition where something doesn't feel right, something's wrong, and yeah, come back and to be right. Something is wrong. His girlfriend is on fire on the ceiling.
Honestly, he thought he smelled toast. He's like, Sam's cooking?
Am I having a stroke? No, it's just his girlfriend on the ceiling. On fire.
I meant the cookies. I meant you smelled the cookies that you liked. Yeah, good question. Right here with the hand.
It's many hands, Jared.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I was wondering what your favorite Looney Tune character is.
Looney Tune?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Probably Marvin the Martian.
I think Yosemite Sam. Either that or the Coyote.
Wild E. Good question, what's yours? Goofy.
Isn't that Disney? I mean, not that I would know.
You're dead to me.
Disney.
Aladdin.
Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
That's Sebastian's favorite.
Dude, you missed it. He sang last night,
missed
and he did Bowie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ziggy Stardust.
And it was so good. That man just keeps getting younger. I don't understand it.
Yeah, he made a deal.
Yes, sir. All the way in the back.
On behalf of however many it is right now, I just want to know, what is Dean's favorite whiskey?
Do you have a shirt that actually has whiskey on it? Yeah. I knew it. Yes. I chose wisely. Dean's favorite whiskey?
Or yours.
Dean's favorite whiskey is some no-name rot gut, I'm sure. Or gut rot, I guess. We have, in fact, if you pay attention, some of the bottles of liquor that are consumed on the show, the labels are just made up by our art department. So we've got Levinsky, which is named after our props girl, Robin, who got on stage with Rosie, who was 3 sheets to the proverbial win last night.
Rosie, 3 sheets?
Oh, yeah.
Was it 3 sheets, Rosie?
It was 3 sheets, Rosie. And he got up and introduced the band.
I love
and Robin was his chaperone. But we call Robin, because she is of Russian heritage, we call her Robinsky. And so Lubinsky is a little homage to her. And then we have Titchener whiskey, which is our focus puller. His name's Matt Titchener. So they use a lot of names. So yeah, Dean doesn't have an actual brand because we're not allowed to use brands. We're just too cheap, and we're not going to call Jack Daniels to be like, hey, can we pay you thousands of dollars to use your name? No. Then, I don't know, for me, I guess it just depends on what mood I'm in. I like the Scotch stuff, and I like the bourbon and American whiskey stuff, so. Angel's Envy right now.
It's good.
There you go.
It's good. And apropos for the show. Yes. I didn't know that. So
Yes.
There's a deleted scene where his radio goes on the fritz
I do remember that.
as he's driving away, and his watch has stopped. And
That was, I believe they shot that because I don't think that was it wasn't in the script. It was just, I think originally it was just Brothers Intuition coming back because something was wrong. Then I believe that we shot that in case we needed to explain it further, or if the show was short and we needed some extra footage to fill in that. The show was not short. What's that?
I like your explanation better anyway.
So do I. And I think Eric would agree with me.
And my other question though is for Jared. I was wondering if you would tell us a little bit about working on Phantom Boy, which I haven't gotten to see yet.
yeah, I haven't gotten to see it either. It was a really kind of bizarre. I got a phone call, and they were talking about a French animated flick that they wanted to voice over with American actors, and I think one of the people had liked the way I sounded for this character, and we met and shot it at the W Hotel in Austin over a period of like 3 days in a hotel room. It was kind of a really cool, weird, bizarre experience, but it was the people who put together A Cat in Paris, which I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's a really awesome, hand-drawn, animated, and I just love the artistry of it, and I'm just really honored to be a part of it. I don't know what's going on with it right now. I think they're limited releasing it.
Yeah, they keep releasing new locations, but so far
Yeah.
no place that I can actually get to.
Yeah, I want to look into that more. I know it came together pretty quickly because I told Jensen, because he's done this, I was like, this is so much more difficult. I have a complete and utter newfound respect for voice actors. Even so far as like watching Paw Patrol or something animated, I'm like, this is like, it really takes legitimate talent and craftsmanship to do this. Because I was like, I've been acting my entire adult life, and for years before that in school, I was like, it's like swimming or breathing to me. It's just second nature. But to get into kind of a character and have to try and voice over in an English language sentence that matches the French language mouth movement, it was bizarre and difficult. And I was like, I was just nervous. But it's cool. I can't wait to see it.
Favorite Paw Patrol?
Favorite Paw Patrol? Chases on the case, man.
Rubble on the double.
Rubble on the double. Thank you.
That's what it's come to. After 11 and a half years. Let's go right there in the end. Yes. Hi.
Jared, you were telling a story about your train trip? World
Yeah.
War III in Europe, something
That
like
wasn't this year. That was a couple years ago.
And he's not allowed to tell that story without Richard Spade present.
Yes. We'll tell it later because have y'all not heard it?
Oh, yes.
It's a doozy, but I would love, because he was there, I would love to, we'll take the opportunity because he was there. It was me, Jen, and Richard Spade. He's not.
No. It's online. Heavily documented.
I'll tell you when Richard's around, we'll tell it properly. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When Jen was there?
She called me out.
Go ahead.
I don't like when there are witnesses.
Last one? One more? No?
Last one.
go right here in the front row.
Okay. Hi.
And I just wanted to know, Jared, did you actually fit in that coop that you guys were pictured with? And also wanted to say sorry about your quarterback.
Sorry about what?
Sorry, that makes me thrilled. Off the record, I'm happy to see the Cowboys under new leadership. Though I'm sad that somebody gets physically injured.
Oh, he'll be back. Don't worry.
Don't you dare say that. No, we didn't fit in that car very well, and Jensen and I have been successful actors for 2 decades, and so it's an interesting occasion for us to walk around and like put our hands in our pockets because all of these cars are worth our lives, more than our lives. We're like, I can't touch that. And then this German guy comes up, he's like, would you like to sit in my car? We're like, is it gonna cost us? Like, I don't know if, like, I'm gonna break it. Can you open the door for me? And but he let us sit in it.
Well, he said, so I walked over and took a picture next to it because there was nobody standing next to it. And the car was literally, it came up to here. Like it was so low to the ground. And so I just took a picture like this. And if you look at that picture on my phone, you can see a guy sitting in the background, like up on a little knoll, and it was the owner of the car. And then I just kind of casually walked away. And then we walked back to it for some reason, and he comes walking up and he says, hey, I'm a fan of the show. I'd love to get a picture of you guys next to the car. And I don't know why, and I'm like, you mean in the car?
And I'm standing there too, and I'm like, yes, he said it.
And the guy's like, sure. And then we come to find out it was like there's only 2 in the world. There's only 2 in the world, and the other one is, they can't find it. Like it's a private collector who never shows it, who just keeps it under a tarp in his garage.
He won some like overall, I mean, it was amazing. He had like created it over from Germany. And he had a very cute little German accent. I don't know what that accent is that I was doing.
That was pretty, continue, please. I wasn't daring to venture into that, but no, you're doing a great job.
Are you a Winchesters? Yeah? That's bad. Uns? I gotta do uns more.
No, you don't.
Uns. Don't Germans say uns?
No.
Uns, yeah?
There's Germans out there you can ask.
Yeah. Und.
I'm so sorry. All right, y'all. We're gonna take off. Thank you for being here. We'll see all y'all